The Power of One Idea, the story of Liam Roberts. Liam Roberts lived in a small town in the northern United States, where life was quiet and predictable. He was 28 years old and worked in a local bookstore. Every day he helped people find books that could change their lives, but he felt stuck. Since childhood, Liam loved to read. For him, books were an escape from reality and a source of inspiration. But despite his love of stories, he never believed he could do anything meaningful with his life. One evening, while closing the store, Liam came across a book he hadn't seen in a long time. It was his grandfather's diary, where he had written his thoughts and dreams many years ago. Flipping through the pages, Liam found an entry that made him stop. Big things start small. One idea can change everything. These words stuck with him. He thought, I spend my life doing work that doesn't inspire me. What if I try to change something? This was the moment when his life began to take on a new meaning. Liam couldn't sleep that night. His thoughts kept coming back to his grandfather's words, big things start small. He thought he had to find something that ignited him from the inside. Books had always been his passion, but how could he turn it into something more? The next day at the bookstore, Liam noticed an old woman who had been looking at the shelves for hours. She was looking for a book to help her grandson understand math, but didn't know where to start. Liam helped her find the right book, and her gratitude was sincere and warm. That moment sparked an idea in him. What if we created a space where people could find books that would help them solve their problems, inspire them, or change their lives, he thought. That evening, Liam took a notebook and started writing down his ideas. He envisioned how he could create an online platform where anyone looking for inspiration or answers could find just the right book. But the problem was that Liam knew nothing about creating such platforms. The thought of launching such a project seemed daunting. Liam knew he didn't have the technical knowledge, finances, or even a clear plan. But he also understood. If I don't try something, I'll stay in the same place. He decided to start small, to create a list of books on different topics that could help people in different areas of life. Liam spent nights reading reviews, analyzing books and categorizing them into categories: self-development, finance, motivation, art, education. These first steps gave him a sense of moving forward. And although the journey was far from over, he felt that for the first time in a long time his life was making sense. Liam started telling his friends about his idea. Most of them listened with interest, but without much enthusiasm. Some were even skeptical. It's a good idea, but there are so many platforms like this already. What can you do differently? These words stuck with Liam. He himself wasn't sure how his project could stand out. But one person supported him: his younger sister Clara, who was a teacher. She said, "Your main advantage is your passion. People will feel that you really want to help. And you will always find a way to make it unique." Clara's support gave Liam the strength to move forward. He decided to create a simple blog where every week he would write book recommendations explaining how they can help in different situations. It didn't require a lot of financial investment, but it allowed him to test whether people would be interested in his idea. However, even creating a blog proved to be a challenge. Liam had no experience in design or programming. He spent hours watching video tutorials, reading articles, and trying to create something on his own. The first version of his blog was simple, even primitive. But he launched it despite the fear that no one would pay attention. He started small. He published an article titled "5 Books That Helped Me Get Started." To his surprise, a few days later, a stranger left the first comment. She wrote, "This article came at the right time. One of the books has already changed my attitude to work. Thank you." This feedback was a confirmation for Liam that he was moving in the right direction. With each new article, the blog began to gain momentum. People shared his posts, wrote their impressions, and even asked for book recommendations. Liam began to feel that his idea, which had seemed so vague, was taking shape. Although it was only the beginning, he realized that every step counts. And the most important thing is not to give up, even when the path seems too difficult. After a few months of blogging, Liam began to receive more feedback. His articles were read not only by people from his hometown, but also by people from other cities. Comments became more frequent, and some even started sending in personal stories about how the recommended books helped them change their lives. One evening, Liam received an email from a man named George who wrote, "Liam, thanks for your article on financial planning books. I never thought I could change my attitude towards money before, but thanks to your recommendations I've taken action. You really do help people." This letter touched Liam. He realized that his project was starting to make a difference in the lives of others, and it motivated him to do more. Liam decided it was time to take it to the next level. He started researching how he could turn his blog into a real platform. He wanted to create a space where people could not only read his articles, but also interact with each other, share their recommendations, find like-minded people, and create a community. However, this required money. Liam didn't have a lot of savings, but he decided to take a chance. He took out a small loan, hired a freelancer to build the site, and started working on the platform. The risk scared him, but he kept telling himself, "Big things start small. If I don't try, I'll never know what I'm capable of." After a few months of hard work, Liam launched his platform called Books That Change Lives. It was a simple but functional platform where people could find book recommendations in different categories, leave reviews, and even create their own lists of favorite books. The first few days after the launch were exciting. Liam was afraid that no one would be interested in his work. But gradually, users began to register, and comments filled the platform's pages. One day, he received a message from a young woman named Sarah. "Your platform helped me find a book that changed my life. Thank you for creating this place for people like me." These words were the greatest reward for Liam's work. The Books That Change Lives platform began to grow rapidly. Every day, new users were signing up to find books that could help them in different areas of their lives. Liam was excited to see his dream come true. One day, the editor of a popular self-development magazine wrote to him. The letter read, "Your platform is unique. We would like to write about you in the next issue. People need to hear your story." The news came as a shock to Liam. He never thought his work could attract this level of attention. The magazine article brought the platform even more popularity. However, with growth came challenges. Technical problems became a regular occurrence due to the high volume of users. Liam realized that he needed a team, but he didn't have the finances to do so. He worked nights answering user requests and fixing bugs on the site. It started to wear him down. One day, sitting at his computer at 2 in the morning, Liam thought, "Maybe I've taken on more than I can handle. Should I continue?" That's when one of his users wrote to him. "Liam, your site helped me find a book that changed my life. I used what I learned from it to start my own business. Thank you for what you do." These words were a reminder of why he started this project. Liam realized that hard times are just part of a great journey. Liam decided to ask the user community to support the platform. He launched a crowdfunding campaign where he shared his story and plans for development. To his surprise, the support was overwhelming. People not only donated money, but also left words of gratitude for making the platform an important part of their lives. After a successful crowdfunding campaign, Liam was able to realize what had previously seemed impossible. He hired a team of developers and designers to improve the platform's functionality and add interactive elements. Users were now able to create their own profiles, share book lists, participate in discussions, and leave recommendations. The new features attracted even more attention, and the platform began to grow exponentially. Liam decided to ask his users a question. What more can we do to help you find books that change your lives? The response was overwhelming. People offered ideas, shared their dreams, and even offered to help. One day, Liam received an email from a literature professor who wrote, "Your project is more than a platform. You are creating a movement that is changing the way people think about books and self-development. I would like to offer you a collaboration to help with educational materials." This cooperation made it possible to add special courses to the platform based on books recommended by users. This was a new stage in the project's development. The growth of the platform brought Liam not only joy but also great challenges. He spent every day working hard, meeting with the team, solving technical problems, and communicating with users. One day, after a sleepless night, Liam felt like he was losing energy. His sister Clara, who had always been his support, noticed. She said, "You always said that books can change lives. But now you have forgotten how to read for yourself. You can't take care of the platform if you don't take care of yourself." These words made Liam think. He realized that his frantic pace of work was draining him. He had dreams, but he began to realize that without personal balance, they might not be realized. To regain his strength, Liam decided to take a break. He traveled to a remote village to spend a few weeks alone, away from the noise of the city. This time was a moment of rethinking for him. Upon his return, Liam realized he was ready for a new challenge. His platform was already attracting users from different countries, and he decided to make it available to an even wider audience. He started working with volunteers from other countries to help translate the platform's content into several languages. These efforts allowed him to attract users from Europe, Asia, and even Africa. One day, he received a message from a student in India. "Your platform has given me knowledge that I could not find anywhere else. It gave me the inspiration to start my own business." This testimonial was proof that his idea could impact the lives of people anywhere in the world. After several years of rapid growth, Liam decided to do something to remind him of the beginning of his journey. He went back to his hometown and organized an event for the locals. At the event, he spoke about how simple words from his grandfather's diary changed his life. Big things start small. One idea can change everything. His speech was moving, and many people came up to him after the event to thank him for being an inspiration. Liam also chose to support a local school by donating funds to build a library. He said, "Books are the key to new opportunities. I want every child here to have access to knowledge that can change their future." A few years later, Books That Change Lives became not only a platform but also a movement that united millions of people. Liam became a frequent guest at international conferences, sharing his story and inspiration. At the celebration of the platform's 10th anniversary, Liam delivered the closing speech. "I started out in a small bookstore helping people find books. Now I see how one small idea can change thousands of lives. Never underestimate the power of your first step." His words became the slogan of the movement, "Big things start small. Every step counts." This story of Liam Roberts reminds us that even the smallest idea can change the lives of thousands of people. Share this story with those who need inspiration and subscribe to Rise and Inspire to learn more about those who are not afraid to take the first step. Each of us can start small and achieve great things.